I noticed something unsettling. After a massive dinner, my stomach was full, yet I craved something sweet, then salty. I wasn't hungry, but I couldn't stop thinking about food. What I discovered is that constant food cravings are not a character flaw. They are a designed outcome. Your biology is being exploited by a system designed to keep you trapped in a loop of permanent desire. My first breakthrough came when I started examining what actually happens inside the brain when a craving strikes. The answer lies in how the modern food environment hijacks ancient reward pathways, operating identically to addictive drugs. Dr. Anna Lembke of Stanford explains that the brain processes pleasure and pain on a balance scale. When you eat highly rewarding food, the brain releases dopamine, tipping the scale toward pleasure. But the brain demands balance, so it immediately triggers an equal and opposite reaction toward pain. This creates a subconscious feeling of deficit. The more intensely a food spikes dopamine, the harder the brain pulls down on the pain side to compensate. Lemke's clinical observations show that modern processed foods trigger massive dopamine surges. Over time, repeated spikes cause the brain to downregulate its own dopamine receptors. This creates a state of chronic deficit, what addiction researchers call tolerance. You no longer crave food because you need nutrients. You crave it because your brain is desperately trying to escape the neurological low of an artificial pleasure-pain imbalance. It is a state of dependency, engineered entirely by your environment. My second discovery is that these dopamine spikes are not accidental. The foods filling our shelves are deliberately engineered to bypass biology. Food companies calculate the precise intersection of sugar, fat, and salt to hit what they call the bliss point. This is the exact sensory threshold that maximizes pleasure without triggering natural satiety cues. This hyperpalatability completely overrides the signals that tell your brain your stomach is full. Instead of satisfying your appetite, every bite acts as a cue for the next. The food itself was designed to leave you permanently unsatisfied. The deeper I went, the more I realized this is not just regulatory failure. It is a deliberate corporate strategy. To confirm this, I reviewed the investigative work of Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Michael Moss, who spent years obtaining thousands of pages of internal food industry memos. Moss's reporting uncovers something the industry desperately did not want public. Executives and food scientists knew exactly what they were doing. Internal documents from major food conglomerates show companies actively tracked consumer behavior, specifically looking for patterns that mirrored addiction. In confidential corporate meetings, scientists discussed how to manipulate salt crystals so they hit the tongue faster, sending a more rapid signal to the brain's reward center. They engineered foods to achieve what they called vanishing caloric density. Products that melt in your mouth so quickly the brain thinks the calories have disappeared, driving you to eat more. Moss exposed memos where executives openly discussed maximizing stomach share and keeping consumers hooked. The industry knew that corporate growth depended entirely on overriding human biology to make sure you never felt truly done eating. When you connect these three findings, the picture becomes undeniable. Constant food cravings have almost nothing to do with willpower. You are in an unfair fight. You are matching your daily discipline against three monumental forces working in perfect coordination: a brain reward system being systematically hijacked, food products meticulously engineered to override natural fullness signals, and an industrial playbook designed to maximize consumption at the expense of your health. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is documented reality, verified across three completely separate lines of evidence by a Stanford psychiatrist, a former FDA commissioner, and a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. Your brain is reacting exactly the way it was trained to react by an environment specifically designed to exploit it. So what can you actually do differently this week? Based on the combined research, here are three concrete actions you can take immediately to reclaim control. First, eliminate multisensory food triggers from your environment. Remove products that combine high levels of sugar, fat, and salt from your sight. If the stimulus is not there, the conditioned dopamine loop cannot initiate. Willpower in the moment is too weak against engineered food. Control the environment, not the urge. Second, rebuild your dopamine baseline by establishing structured eating windows. Restricting your food intake to specific times each day gives your brain's reward pathways a prolonged break, allowing down-regulated dopamine receptors to recover and lowering your overall baseline of craving. Third, swap processed formulations for whole foods that require real chewing. Eating single-ingredient foods slows down consumption and allows your body's natural vagal signaling to communicate true fullness to your brain before you overeat. My investigation completely changed how I view the grocery store and my own mind. Understanding the science removes the shame. If you want to dive deeper into the primary data and see the evidence for yourself, I highly recommend examining the source material that validated my findings, the work of Dr. Anna Lemke, Dr. David Kessler, and Michael Moss. The truth is out there, hidden in plain sight inside the data. Once you understand the design, you can finally break the loop.